Hello, so I'd like to share my trades for the week. So starting with the US yen, what I usually do is usually start from the monthly time frame, just give me that top-down view, and then I work my way down weekly, daily, 12-hour, 6-hour, 4-hour, and I start getting a better picture of where we are. Lots of strong buying that's been happening, and then we've sort of created a range over here in recent weeks here. And then you can see we're sort of contracting in this tight range, tight space, with this V shape forming here, creating sort of more predictable opportunities, if you will. And so I've been interested in the selling side here that's happening over here. Lots of selling in that side. Equally, I've been interested in the buying side that's happening over here. You can see it buying coming in over there. If we go closer in, you can see it better. So you can see a lot of selling happening at this area over here. Selling happening there. Price comes back in again to the same area. And there's a strong sell-off there. 1,400 points there. And then on the buying side is a similar area here where we had price come down in here. Shot up 500 points. Another retest there. Shot up 1,000, over 1,000 points. So I marked off these areas here, selling and buying. Trade I took this week when we came into this area, when I saw a nice clean move into this area over here. Just go down even more. So a nice move in there. I was waiting for price to get a little bit deeper in there. I don't want to get in too early. I placed my stop about 130 points, maybe about 170 points maybe, and then I just closed off. I think this was a 1-to-1 trade that we closed off over there. I usually don't just open one position. I usually open at least two positions. I didn't get into a second position on this one. Not sure why again, but if I did get into a second position, I would have maybe gone for a more aggressive hold, but this one did come back up again and retested this area again. Yeah, lots of selling happening in this area. And then it finally it did the big move, more of a swing move that happened that way into my other level over here that I marked out down here. I didn't go for this one because this one it entered on the news, the US news opening, and so it came in quite aggressively. So the yen, the US yen, has been very, very volatile this year with lots of Bank of Japan interventions. So I'm very cautious when trading the yen, especially on the buying side. So this is a buy over here. I wasn't interested because of the interventions from the Bank of Japan. I was very cautious. I didn't get in there, but I am aggressively selling the yen though because Bank of Japan is trying to boost the yen. So I mean, I'm selling the dollar against the yen. I mean, so I'm happy to sell US yen where I get opportunities. Sometimes you get these crazy moves that are happening this year. And speaking of yen, so the euro against the yen, I would say kind of a similar situation. Bullish move up over the last few months, and then now we have this sort of range here with really Bank of Japan fighting against dollar strength and the weakening of its currency. So I identified this is more of a boxed range over here, not so much like a V shape like the US yen. So this one is sort of operating in this boxed area over here for a while. And so, well, I did identify this recent level over here, bit of supply there. So yeah, this is where we currently are in this recent range. And so what I identified this level before I identified this one. It's similar to the US yen, you know, if you look at this sort of V shape forming here. So what I identified was a lot of selling happening at this point here. Let me just highlight this area here, just point it out for you. So this point over here, price moves up aggressively, tries to get in here, where we can see all of the selling happening here. Very strong bearish movement that comes out here. Price tries to retest in there, couldn't even get in there. And so I was looking at, once I had that evidence, I was waiting for price to get back up in there and then to sell off there. So it was just a matter of timing it. And I mean, I could sell from here at this point off, and then try and go down, but I wanted price to get a little deeper into this area. Give me a better price. I don't want to pay a premium. So it's just a patient waiting game at that point. I waited. I did get the price I wanted as price. Ran in deeper into there. And then I just opened 2 positions there. I didn't really set 230 points. I mean, my stop was to about maximum 230 points, but I didn't have to set it that high. I just set it about 120 points or so. But if I wanted to be safer, I could go 230 points, catch it as a swing move. But we caught this one at a nice price around about here. I was looking to get in around about here at least, good price. And from that point on, we just managed the trade as 2 positions. First one, get a nice drop in there. We moved our stop, and then we got out close to maybe just under 1-to-1 there. Second position, I just held aggressively. We came back up again, and then we just managed the pullbacks a little bit. And then as we came down here, I identified an area of buying here. So I wanted to get out. I wanted to get out before this area over here, where I could see a lot of buying. Price did pull there, and then it ended up going all the way up. So that's something I've been trying to do lately, is just take the money when I have it on the markets, because the markets this year have been mean reverting a lot. So sometimes I assume that this move is gonna push price to my target, which I think price could push down here. So I overestimate certain levels. So it's important for me lately not to overestimate the moves and take the money when I have it. So that's why I get in, I can take the money out, and then you often see price move back the other way. Next trade is also another win we got this week. I will definitely show some losses when I get some losses. This area I did identify. If I pull to the monthly, we just see the satellite view of Great Pound, Canada, and what's going on over here. So this is where we currently are in price. Lots of selling happening there. There was a major resistance, major supply on that side there, and then recently had a surge. A bit of a surge. I can't really call this a surge, just a choppy surge. Big range on the daily, a couple of months maybe, and then a slow move upwards, and let's just go down here. You do need to be cautious though of these highs back here. We have weekly highs here, so I'm always cautious when we are approaching an area like that. But there was a bullish movement in here, but it's a late at the move, and I'm always cautious when we're getting late towards a move, because it's usually an indication of a reversal that can happen. But I did identify this area here and lots of buying here as well. This is where I might get in again. So yeah, we have an untested level over here, and we had this level over here. I did identify this level. Just put my history on there. And so I was cautious with the selling coming in from such a high time frame area. And you can see again some evidence, price trying to get there, pushes back, And then when we got in here, I wanted to get a nice discount. So in this area. So price did come in a little nice and deep in there, and then I just clicked buy. I bought there. Can't remember where I placed my stop. If I go down lower time frame, I may remember. But again, I could hold it as a swing position, as a more safer position there. Put my stop down there, or I can leave for 500 points, or I can leave my stop for 100 points as a more day trade. And I think that's what I did do. I think I remember now. So yeah, price comes into my area at a good price. And I can just go down to the lower time frame. Nice clean move in. And I just clicked buy and manage the trade from that point. You can see the selling happening here. Strong move coming there. That big sell-off happening there. So I was respecting that. We have two positions in here. We manage them. This one I got prematurely knocked out. If I can just go down to the time frame. So I manage these as sort of swing, sometimes slash day trades, sometimes even as in terms of profit taking as a scalp, and I will manage it. And price, really trying to show you this in detail. So we managed it, and price was moving up, just swept down, stopped us out of a big move. Then it launched upwards. So we got stopped out problem, get my money, get out. I know I'm getting something. This area here, I identified where I wanted to get out, and I got out before there. This area ended up working anyway, so price just continued going higher. Then it retested aggressively again. They probably news, yes, that's the American open there, and then the American craziness happens there. Went higher. I don't care about that. I don't know what's gonna happen in America. I just trade what I know, not what I don't trade in retrospect, so I don't care that it went higher there. Ended up coming back down again, and ultimately this area of buying that we identified initially just held its own. Even though there's all this craziness, volatility and everything, ultimately this level, it came back down. Yeah, you can see held its own, and it went for a big swing kind of move there. And maybe I actually wanted to catch this as a swing move, but you know, you can never perfectly plan what you're gonna do. In trading, sometimes it just happens, and we can learn from that. But yeah, ultimately, my initial plan of catching this is like a swing move. You know, I didn't get that, but I got it more as a day trade. But I did lower the risk, so I'm fine with that. If I was holding all of the risk, the 500 points from the beginning, and I only managed to get what did we get? Yeah, 250 points, 350 points. So that's less than 1 to 1. That's like 1 to that's like 1 to 0.6. So that's not good enough for me. But I didn't hold all. I just held a small stop, and then we got there. But this ended up working nice. It's just nice to see it working without me taking it as well. See it do its own thing. And then another trade I took was in the Euro New Zealand on the monthly chart over here. We sort of coming into a monthly area over here. We have monthly highs there. Do need to be careful of these. The weekly, some weekly highs over there. And this sort of a reversal. Is it gonna go further down? You know, on the monthly chart? Probably, I would guess. A lot of selling happening from this area. This is where the reversal took place. And then we've come up here. And so the trade I was looking at for this one was in this area over here. So I marked out this area right here as an area of buying. get my history out there. So I was looking for a trade when we got into this area here. Seeing a lot of buying coming from this area. If I can just mark this out. A lot of buying from over here. You can see it's move up here, move up here, move up here. So the assumption was that there was still a lot of orders there, a lot of buying happening there. Sell side, you can see from this area here, we're coming in, falling off, falling off. Next time it comes up here again, could be an area to short as well. So my entry over here, as price came down initially, down there, another New York open area, price really crashed down there. I wasn't there at the time to buy it at that price, and then it came back up and came back down again. So I got another opportunity to buy. This is the area I marked off. I was waiting for price to get deep in this area, and it did. So I could sort of buy it at a discount, and for 300 points, and I was looking to make maximum of 1,300 points. So kind of looking for a 1-to-4 trade. It didn't work out as planned. It ended up just going 1-to-1, 300 points, and then reversing back down. So we bought over here, stop was down here, 350 points or so, and just at 1-to-1 it reversed from this area and the sellers pushed back and I got stopped out there. Looks like it's picking up again to go higher, but I don't care. It's not part of my plan. My plan was to exit around this area and no lower than that. So not a bad trade for me. It's more of a speculative trade, low risk with high reward. If I do miss this one out, it's not the end of the world. Because I got in at quite a discount at the lower area. If I got in earlier in this section around here, it costs 3 times more for me to buy. So those are some of my trades for the week. I'll try and post some more in the coming weeks as well. And yeah, nothing's perfect, I guess. Things never always go the way you planned, is what I'm learning as a trader. And you got to live with that. You can make a plan, but rarely will things ever go exactly as you plan to. That's what you need to accept, I guess, is the first step. All right, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you soon.